Are there different levels of panic around the country? And the reason I'm asking is because I was in Detroit last week, and this is a small example, but I asked a room full of clients and investors, are you worried about coronavirus? And they unanimously said no. And I said, are you not worried because you think you're going to catch it and you'll still be okay? Or are you not worried because you don't think you're going to catch it? And they said we're not going to catch it.
Yeah, I think this is going to, for a while, this is going to be regional. You're going to have regional outbreaks where you're going to have more focus on it in certain parts of the country. Washington State, we're probably a couple of weeks away from some significant measures in Washington State to try to mitigate spread, and Northern California as well.
Look, a couple of weeks away, it's got an incubation period of potentially a couple of weeks. So are we kind of just always going to be behind the eight ball on this? We're reacting to the news 2 weeks later?
Well, we have a lot of undiagnosed cases, to his point right now. There's probably, low thousands of cases in this country that we now need to turn over the card on. So we're going to have a surge in cases before we start to catch up to the actual level of spread. It's a big country, 330 million people. So even if you have several thousand cases, your risk of contracting it's still low, but that could change very quickly.
Japan has taken some pretty extreme measures, like closing schools. Is that?
They're not diagnosing their cases there as aggressively as South Korea is or Italy.
That's right. We're going to see school closures here, definitely. We're hearing that life's going to go about just like normal. That's not true. And to speak to the earlier question, I'll tell you, I live in Westchester. When I'm walking around Westchester, I'm not really worried about coronavirus. But when I get on the 6 train, when I'm walking around Times Square, when I'm in the emergency room every single day caring for patients, I am very worried. So
great. Thanks for joining us today, man. Santoli, you've got...
Yes.
Yeah.
Just because I ride the subway?
No, because you're sitting next to Matt.
Not as close as Scott is.
Yeah, not as close as Scott.
I was going to give my... Santoli, here's my Purology.
Take it.
How many cases do you suspect you've seen? If you had enough cases, if enough testing, how many cases would you have tested?
Well, we've seen one case in New York. I bet there are hundreds. I bet there are thousands in the United States. And the longer we wait to get testing up and running, the worse this is going to be. But I'm telling you, as a practicing clinician, we're not there to
Why did I
begin
say
testing.
I thought they were shipping tests to California in bulk? I thought that was the latest.
The testing capacity by the end of this week, so we have about 100 public health labs. They'll have a capacity to do 100 tests a day. So it's at 10,000 tests a day by the end of this week. That still requires physicians like you to call the public health department in the state to order the test. So that's cumbersome. By the end of the week after that, we should have maybe as much as another 10,000 test capacity a day. So we'll be at 20,000 tests that we can run per day as we bring on the academic labs. That's going to make it a lot easier for physicians like our guest to order tests within their hospital.
Well,
but that's not available yet.
What you want, Matt, right?
Right. So that's right. So a week or two from now is when we're going to begin getting real information. Right now, we're still largely flying blind. So if you're worried about fear and uncertainty, we're still in the thick of things.